Oh, didn't see you there. Hi, welcome to Marshall Gold Discovery State Historic Park. My name's Aaron. I'm going to give you a tour of the mining exhibit in the main Lee building. So right here, we have our miner 49er. He is equipped with his pickaxe, his shovel, and his pan. And he's actually layered with wool, different layers so that he can keep warm during the winter. All right, and this actually right here is a collage of all the different photos that depict the life of the gold rush, the miners in the gold rush. We're going to transition now on over to our placer mining. Placer is Spanish for sandbanks, and it is when you use one of these pans, either tin, brass, any lightweight metal that people could get their hands on, they go ahead and grab it and do this motion to kind of help get anything that wasn't gold out of the pan. Now gold is about 19 times heavier than water, so as you're panning, the gold's going to stay right there at the bottom. If you do it correctly, you can get yourself a nice big nugget. Now, as people started going on and doing this, they would go get about 30 pans per person. Now, once we started getting more advanced and started getting more ways into how to find that gold, we would introduce our rocker right here. Now, this would normally have a handle, and it would go back and forth. You would have another person to help you work with this, but then you would have to split your wages. As people started going throughout the gold rush, they used these tools, but then once the gold started running out and more people started coming, we had to find different ways in order to find gold, which is how we're going to transition to our hydraulic mining. Now check this out over here. This is our hydraulic cannon. This baby takes water, condenses it, and shoots it out on this end right here. Now if you look at this picture, this actually shows you the damage that it can do. It shoots right into the side of the mountain, all the way through to the bedrock, making sure all the sediment washes down here. Now they would go through this and pan out all the different gold, what they could find, any precious metals that they wanted, and the rest, they would just let it go down the river. Now this was really troublesome because what about the towns and all the different villages living down the river? This was catastrophic because you would have kitchens flooding, you would have the town being rendered useless, and most importantly, you would have fields, fruit fields, agricultural fields being just left as a waste, filled up all the way to the top of the trees. There was actually, because of this, California passed its first environmental law stating that you are allowed to hydraulically mine as long as you are able to contain all of the waste within your own property, which is pretty much economically impossible. So because of this, they had to find a new method, which leads us into hard rock mining. So this right here is our hard rock mining. This is our friend Uncle Jack, our cousin Jack. He's going to be showing us what it's like. So he would take his drill right here, go ahead and drill into the sides of our mine shaft down in the ground. We would have 3 holes right here. Guess what we're filling them with? Dynamite. This makes it a little dangerous. And then we're drilling another 3 holes on the outside. Now what happens is we're trying to have 2 blasts that are going to explode simultaneously. And so these first 3 go off, boom, implode, crush together. And the outer 3, boom, collapse onto that empty space, which allows our ores to fall into the ground. These ores right here that we have in our cart. Now, this is actually one of the most dangerous methods that we have here just because of the wear and tear it puts on your body. A miner, an old man for a miner was about 37 years old. And plus, when you're drilling into here, all that dust, all that iron pyrite, it's going right into your lungs, and that's how you would get things called the black lung, which is just scarring of your lungs. And other things happen that are, we'll talk about that if you ever come over here. Now we're going to take our ore and bring it on all into the mine shaft. Come on with me. So these were our mine shafts. People would have to spend their lives going through and back here, pulling carts and bringing it to the surface and down in. It's really dark, and if you're claustrophobic, it might not be the job for you. Here we are at our processing plant. Right here we have our stamp mill. This is a small picture of it. We would drive our cart all the way to the top of the hill right here, so we can let gravity do the work for us. Here, take our ore cart, dump it in, goes through our first crusher, and into our ore bin. Now the ore bin was huge because in case if the mine collapsed or if we needed, there was something wrong, we could continue it even though we're not producing more. It'd go through the S piston and let it, and here's our crusher right here. S piston would bring it up and it would stamp, which is where it gets its name from. Crush it all to a fine bean, introduce it to the amalgam plate where mercury would separate the gold from the crushed crystals, and we take that gold, put it into our retort furnace, burn off that mercury because it has a lower burning temperature than gold, and the vapor would come through here. We cool it down with water. We take that mercury, put it right back to the stamp mill, and reuse it again. And that is how we found gold.